Hello, my beautiful, sexy peoples, and welcome to our very first video. I am Bima Oddish J, and joining me is
Tiffany Draven, and this is
Gouki Discussion Time! The segment where we like to talk about things that are going on in the wrestling world, that are going through our minds, and letting you guys know how we feel and our personal opinions. And if you guys don't like our opinions, well, then, you're entitled to have your opinions about our opinions, pretty much. And, we're just saying what's on our minds. So, yeah. So, the first topic of conversation to bring about on our very first video, and this is, I call it, is the Roman Empire coming too soon? Now, this is coming from the fact of how Roman Reigns has been getting this tremendous push, and it's been
ever since he entered the WWE, he's gotten this push.
exactly. And it's not just the fact that he came to the WWE. Like, you got to remember, when he was in the Shield, he was, the muscle of the Shield. Dean was
The lunatic slash love of my life,
pretty much. And Seth was the Seth was the quote unquote architect. Like, that's what he was, and his name, that name stuck on through his entire career, even to this very day. Even if he is known for burning stuff down, he's still known as the architect for starting one of the most popular stables to date. And it was ever since they broke up, and of course Roman did his own thing, Dean went off to do his own thing, Seth went off to do his own thing. The very first thing that you have to admit that really started this whole thing was the Royal Rumble. It was 2015, the 2015 Royal Rumble.
yes.
Yeah. 2015 Royal Rumble.
Graduated from high school.
It was the 2015 Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan came in, and everyone was hyped. Everyone was happy. Everyone was excited that Daniel Bryan is in the Royal Rumble. Gets eliminated by Bray Wyatt, and then everyone starts to lose their shit. Like, honestly, what went through your mind when you saw that happen?
I honestly, I didn't expect that he was gonna win, but I also didn't expect Brian was gonna win, purely because that's almost what everyone would have expected, being as he was able to return. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as soon as they pushed, towards the end, you could just tell that Roman was gonna win, and that just if the Rock can't get people hyped up about this, nobody can. People were booing. I've never heard someone boo a Royal Rumble ending as much as they did during that one. And I was shocked when he won, actually.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting it. Not only that, but it almost made me angry. You know what I mean?
No. My reaction to it was that I didn't know really how to react to it. Again, I have a love-hate relationship with Roman. I do like Roman, but I understand why people don't like him. I get that. I understand that. Same thing with John Cena. I like John Cena, but I understand why people don't like John Cena. But the moment when Roman won that, I felt it was the wrong time, it was the wrong move, and by doing that, it ended up catapulting him as one of the most loathed entirely people in the company, because one, you had The Rock, where they try to have this whole big momentous thing come in and be like, oh, I'm Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I'm going to save my cousin, and then that didn't even do anything. That did not do a thing. And then the worst thing was the fact that Roman was getting this huge push towards WrestleMania against Lesnar, and then we all know how that whole thing went with Seth cashing in, which honestly was one of the most biggest highlights of that entire experience. And then Seth had to really good championship run up until his injury. And fast forward to what is right now. And right now is not gotten better. And I feel it's not going to get better for a long time because the way it's going, Roman, is they're pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. Like the man, he's had 3 title shots already. 3! Like, come on.
And he's lost every one of them. And I don't understand why there are all these superstars who deserve such a huge chance at the title, and none of them are. Where is Finn's rematch? Where is, well, I mean, if Dean came back, like, where was his chance? Where was, like, Seth's, even his chance? Because Lord knows they deserve a title shot way more than Roman does. Because what he does is he gets a title shot and then he fluffs it all up. Well, and he loses, and people boo him even more. Because he's just a crybaby.
Well, the thing is, there's also talks that...
He whines about Brock Lesnar, he whined about John Cena. Continue.
He whines about how everyone's like, oh, I don't deserve this, or he says, oh, people don't like how I have a chance at becoming Universal Champion and finally beating Brock Lesnar, but I don't care. And you think that he's going to turn heel, which would be so much better for him, like better for his character. But no, they want to make him into this babyface, and it's just making it worse. Like, it's making people hate him more. Because if they just make it where Roman is just heel, that would be fine. That would make so much sense. But the problem is that they want to make him into the next John Cena. But we all know how that went for Cena. We all know that story.
Because Cena is in a very, very almost similar situation where everybody thinks he should turn heel, which honestly, I don't see how he ever could be. And that's my thing with Roman Reigns. Like, I can see... Because, here's the thing. Do you remember the match between him and Braun Strowman, and then afterwards, or maybe it was just backstage, he attacked Braun and drove that truck into him.
Yeah.
What they were trying to do there was to switch it. Make Roman a heel and turn Braun to a face. It did the opposite, and the only thing accomplished was making Braun a face and making Roman, no matter what, Roman will not change his character. And that's what I really do think about him. Like, he just will not, he won't change his music from the Shield, he won't wear any other gear. He honestly isn't even that talented, in my opinion. I feel like there are much more talented wrestlers out there today than he is. He's all muscle, and he's slowly getting better on the mic, but, like, he can't cut a promo. That's my big thing. He cannot even cut a damn promo without needing somebody to, back him up or come out and interrupt him, or he comes out and interrupts someone. It's like he can't just do it on his own, and you need to be able to do that in order to be a superstar.
You're right. And I agree with that. I agree, but here's the thing. I agree with the promo. Like, his mic skills are not the best in the world. They're getting a little bit better. But when it comes down to it, though, he is able to pull off some good matches. There have been some good matches that Roman has been able to pull off, but the problem is that instead of seeing how some of those matches that Roman has had, people still look at the fact that, oh, he only can do the Superman punch. Oh, he can only do the spear. He can only do the ooh, ah, bullshit. And doing that, like, he's trying to hype up the crowd when he does that, because when he does that, the big old spear comes in, but instead you can hear that people are booing when he says it. They're saying, ooh, when he says ooh, they're saying boo, I literally hear this. And like he has the potential to do some really good stuff. It's just the problem is that the pushing and the booking and so much is the problem because you can make him into a good wrestler. His promo skills, okay, wait, he's come a long way, but he could do better. I will agree. But involving wrestling wise, like he can pull off some decent stuff. It's just that the way that he's portrayed by the fan base, that so many people loathe him entirely, based on the fact that he is literally like Cena, where people say, "Oh, Cena can only do the attitude adjustment." Back then, when it was actually called the FU, but they don't want to call it the FU because of children. But you know how Cena can only do the shoulder tackle. He can only do a suplex. He can only do just so much there. But Cena has actually had some pretty good matches. The best example I could pull up with Cena is that him and AJ Styles and Cena in their first match against each other, the very first match, to AJ losing the belt to Cena, was honestly a really great match sets they had. And they showed what they were fully capable of. And then AJ took Cena to the max, Cena took AJ to the max. But getting to the whole Roman thing is that, yeah, he needs a complete overhaul with his gear. He needs a complete overhaul with his moveset, where at least he can pull off some things, but it's just that people are like, oh, he's gonna do the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over again. And if they just do the right thing, where they just make him into a heel, there'll be no problem. But like you pointed out, the whole feud with Roman and Braun was just something that was supposed to catapult them both into where they should be. But the problem is, it only did 50% of the job. The 50 was turning Braun into the most overly big baby face they have right now. And I love Strowman, I do. But it didn't do nothing for Roman because nobody cares. And I think that's the problem, is that nobody cares about Roman because he's gotten all these opportunities. He's gotten all these title shots. He's getting another one in SummerSlam.
One thing I will always give Roman is that he can make a crowd pop like none other. Like he gets some of the biggest reactions, and so does Cena, which is why it's so easy to compare the two of them. When honestly, like their styles are so different, but it's like they're almost pushing Roman to be Cena. Because honestly, like we all know, Cena's not gonna last forever. And once Cena's gone, like, who's going to replace him?
Pretty.
And they're trying to push on a guy who doesn't even know what he's doing yet.
Exactly.
Like, Roman needed a couple years to build himself up. He needs to create his own character because he hasn't changed since he was in the Shield. Like, that never changed. And that's not good, building his own character.
No, and the best example of doing something and reinventing yourself every time, and this, no one can disagree on this, is Chris Jericho. Since Chris Jericho has been on the wrestling scene, he has reinvented himself numerous times. You know, from him being Wild Heart to him,
and he has rocked it every single time.
He has, and when he debuted as Y2J. Keep in mind, that was back when he thought he was a no-nonsense, cocky kid who thought he knew everything, and he got a lot of heat. But over time, he ended up realizing what he was doing, and of course, he ended up getting respect by showing the respect that was rightfully deserved. The thing with Roman is that I think the reason why they're keeping this whole Shield gimmick thing with Roman is that they want to create nostalgia, so that when they do segments where they reform the Shield for whatever things, Roman has the gear on, he has the music, he has the atmosphere, the look. But problem is, Seth has already established himself as his own person. Dean, whenever the hell Dean will come back, has already established himself as his own person. So Roman himself, he's not established. And you know, there's an old very old saying that a very wise person once said. The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expecting results. And this is the definition of insanity with what is going on with Roman.
And literally nothing is going on with Roman.
Pretty much.
And they are trying to push something that is not there. And honestly does not even have the potential to be there at this point.
And the thing is, even like pointing out like what you said before, with Finn having his title rematch that he never got, we'll save that for another discussion. But there is a God, I need to drink water. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not dying yet. But there are a lot of people saying that with Finn, it's like 50-50. He doesn't deserve it. He should get it. But we'll save that for another time. That'll be another, and then the next video we'll do. But the thing is with Roman is that they need to do this complete overhaul. Because with SummerSlam coming in, people are thinking, and I even thought about this the other day, why are they putting Roman in this match again, other than the fact that he's Vince's love child? And I thought to myself, and this is me thinking to myself, and I'm like, and I can't be the only one thinking about this. What they're probably going to do, and this is my prediction, maybe, that when the match happens with Roman and Brock, something will happen, and possibly Roman will win the title. Maybe. It's a maybe. But I think they're going to try and build up to a cash-in with Braun. Because Braun has all this momentum. Braun has all this, hype to him. People love Braun Strowman. Not just for the fact of his appearance and his aura and everything he does in the ring, but because of the fact that he does a lot of things outside of wrestling where he contributes to people around him. And I think what they want to do is they want to have it where Braun will come in, cash in, win the belt, and then they're going to try and make Roman this so-called uncrowned champion again, or crowned champion who happened to have his title taken from him. And I think what they want to try and do is they would want to build up to WrestleMania with this whole thing with Strowman having the belt and then Roman facing him. So that way when Roman beats Strowman for the belt, it just felt this whole satisfying feeling. But I feel that if it goes that direction, it's going to be the same thing with the Strowman and Roman. I didn't even mean to rhyme that. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, you are,
but it's going to, and I think you might agree with me on this, it might go to where it was again, where instead of where, it working out the way it's supposed to do, people are going to, just, see, I don't even know how to even think about it. I thought about it up to that point, but I'm like, I don't even know how people are going to react. Like, if that actually happens, like, what do you feel like if that actually does happen?
Like, honestly, I don't even know because I don't like it. I don't. Like, I can't even, like, what exactly are your feelings on it? Because I'm just trying to process it myself.
Like even just that idea, like, if that is a potential plan, because, this is just some crazy theory that I have, where, Strowman, like I said, he'll come in, catch the belt, catch the briefcase.
And then it's going to be a match between Reigns and
Strowman
Braun.
At WrestleMania. And I just feel that that's
if Roman wins that, everything's over for him, because then he will easily be the top hated superstar. He was already hated to the max after freaking he beat The Undertaker, whose encyclopedia I have right in front of me and tattooed on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was honestly just like, I feel like The Undertaker matches are an entirely different, honestly, conversation. But I feel like he was even the worst person. They should not have pushed him that year.
No, I really feel...
Retire, it should have been Cena, and they only did that to Roman, trying to push him even more, which just... He had never gotten booed so much, / people been so silent as the next night at Raw, when he, like, kind of explained everything.
Yeah, and him saying, it's my yard now, that
made me angry.
That infuriated me.
As like a diehard Undertaker fan, that made me angry.
No,
because that was just pure disrespect. And that's another thing. He disrespects so many of the legends. It's like he's trying to be another Randy Orton, for Christ's sake.
Well, that's another topic of discussion we can save another time, because Randy Orton finally has become heel Orton, which is the best Orton. Oh my!
I'm just thinking about that makes my gauges hurt. Don't remind me of him. I have my ear stretched.
Oh my God, no, that we'll save that for another time. But
Oh yeah. Can we not talk about that? Thank you.
Yeah, that's either. All right, so I think that everyone's sick of hearing the whole Roman discussion now. So moving on to the next topic of conversation is: will the Phenomenal One be put to sleep? Now, this is coming from the upcoming match between Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. And who do you see coming out of this match as the winner, and why?
Honestly, I feel like it could be AJ, but I feel like I love AJ. I love AJ. Probably currently on the roster, he is my favorite. But I feel like they should probably push the title away from him for a little bit. And Lord knows that Joe deserves a damn title, because he is one of the most charismatic, biggest, strongest, most agile wrestlers I have ever seen, next to Kevin Owens.
Oh yeah,
And even in TNA, he kicked ass. And it feels like him not even having a title yet is almost like a slap in the face to him as a wrestler.
No, and I agree with that. I agree, because the moment that Joe came to the WWE, I was excited. I was livid. I was like, oh my God, yes! Like, because I grew up watching Joe since his debut in TNA. Same thing with AJ. Like, since AJ's debut in TNA when it first came out. And I'm really excited for this match, because you're having two of the biggest stars who had great matches against each other in TNA in a WWE ring. Even the very first match they had against each other, when AJ was the X Division champion, their first match against each other, like, you go back and watch that was amazing. And then the second bout you had with Styles and AJ was the triple threat match.
Styles, AJ? You mean Joe and AJ?
Joe, yes. Oh my God, what am I? Oh my God, damn.
Oh, by the way, if anyone hears, like, let me make the noise. It's my vape, because I need nicotine after talking about Roman Reigns, I need me some nicotine. Continue.
She needs her nicotine fixed so she can get her smoker's cough.
Shut up. Alright.
But, what I was getting at was the triple threat match with Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe. Again, you go back and watch that, it is amazing how you have AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels are able to pull off a phenomenal match for the X Division title. Now it's for the WWE title. And the truth is, as much as I really want to see Joe win the belt, and I feel that he deserves to have the belt, because going off of the whole Roman thing is when he was on Raw and they had him against Roman, it wasn't working out for him at all. It really wasn't. They wanted Roman to be this guy who conquered everyone, including Samoa Joe. Who Samoa Joe, we all know what Joe is capable of. But he's on SmackDown, which is way better for him. But when it comes down to it, though, I feel that it's going to be AJ. And I feel it's going to be AJ because AJ is the cover star for 2K19. So I think what they want to try and do is they want to have a lot of PR, a lot of promoting, a lot of all this in-depth stuff to kind of have this hype for this video game because they know that AJ's the cover person. AJ is the WWE champion. So to promote this upcoming video game, we should keep the belt on AJ. When there's a lot of conflicting things with, Joe should get it, AJ should retain it, and again, as much as I would love to see Joe win the belt, I feel that it's going to be AJ.
I can see that too. And it worries me, like, what are their plans with Joe then? Like, they've just been giving him the opportunities and snatching them away. I think he should have beat Lesnar. That's not even because I absolutely despise Lesnar, because I feel like at that moment he was, out of every superstar who's come in and immediately gotten title matches, there's the most, in my opinion, besides AJ.
Yeah.
AJ waited to get his title match.
Yeah. No, like, I feel that the match between Joe and Lesnar, it should have, even if Joe didn't win the belt, it should have stretched on and showed the capabilities of what Joe can do against someone like Lesnar, who Lesnar is a former UFC heavyweight champion. Joe, being trained in mixed martial arts himself, him knowing various moves of submission, him literally knowing how to put you to actual sleep, should have showcased what they could do. But instead it felt like more like, I don't know, like, you probably will agree with me, it felt like a squash match between Joe and Lesnar.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can understand that. And honestly, squash matches irritate me a lot. I can't really explain why, but they irritate me. Because I feel like they're a waste of time and a waste of effort and a waste of, like, minutes that could be given to having amazing matches when they're just giving people a chance to friggin', like, just get all screwed up.
No, it's...
Because it's I know, I understand that it's the whole, like, people trying to show how dominant they used to do with Ryback. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
They were just giving random talent and have them beat the shit out of them.
Don't give me...
Which, honestly, I don't even think is fair.
Don't even get me started on the whole Ryback squash matches and everything. Like, that was... It felt like more of, like, a comedy, to be honest, with the whole squash matches with Ryback. Like, it didn't really showcase anything. It just showcased the fact that, like, I could lift things and throw things on the ground. Anyway, so...
It's just them trying to be, like, seem all mighty and strong when they're just taking time away from people who actually deserve it.
Very much. Like with this whole... Like, the whole... Not just with squash matches, there's also the fact with the whole Roman Reigns situation and this whole... Even this whole Brock Lesnar thing, which we'll save that for another time for discussion. It's just, there's just certain things you do that you don't waste certain people's times or you waste their potential. But with that being said, though, the match with, like I said, with Joe and Lesnar was just... It just felt like a squash match. And with this whole thing with Styles and Joe, I do agree with you. I am greatly concerned with Joe, with what's going to happen, because if Joe loses, let's just say he loses by a pinfall or submission, it's going to eventually ruin his credibility, and people are going to start losing hope in Joe when we all know what Joe is fully capable of. And that's what bothers me, is seeing the fact that happening. But I do see though the match ending in a possible DQ. If it ends in a DQ, I think that will be fine because it will protect both Styles and AJ to where once, comes close to the game release or whatever it is, and we actually have an official, like real official match between the two, I feel that at that point Joe would be winning the belt. But for now, I feel that the only way to protect not just Joe but also protect Styles is for a disqualification. But what do you feel about that?
It's honestly going to make me really angry if it's a double DQ or just a DQ in general. That's really going to make me angry because that's almost like equivalent to a squash match. It's like, what's the point of making a great match and then nothing coming out of it? I feel like that's just I understand how they do it in some certain situations, and sometimes, honestly, I think they do it just out of not wanting to piss people off. But between them, I highly believe that there should just be a clean, we know it's not going to happen, but just a clean ending.
Yeah.
Because what I feel like is they're going to try to get Joe way too angry, and then it's just all going to fall apart.
Because
and he's just gonna flip out, get disqualified, and it's all gonna fall apart.
Just like how you see how they've been having the matches with him, Ty Dillinger, like, you could see like the anger on Joe when he completely just demolishes Ty, and in those squash matches, and just really like, I think that's what they want to showcase with Joe, is show that if you can get over him being angry, you can conquer him. But time will tell, whether the DQ idea is the right idea, or a single clean win, or if Joe will actually win the belt. It's all up in the air to see what happens. But this is the end of this one, and right now on to our final topic of discussion, and it is, should the goddess be dethroned? Now this comes out with Ronda Rousey getting a title opportunity to become the women's champion of dethroning the goddess. What are your thoughts and feelings on this? How do you feel about Ronda Rousey potentially, possibly beating Bliss? How Ronda has been given this title shot, and just what was the first thing that came to your mind when you saw that announcement?
Us is gonna win. She's gonna win. That's just inevitable because she always wins, and that really annoys me because while she's a talented wrestler, I think that I'm just like I'm trying to like put this into words. I know for a fact that Alexa's gonna win. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off. Maybe Mickie James. Maybe it'll be clean. But Ronda, I will be very surprised if Ronda actually walks out with the title. He's drinking some water right now.
Yes, I am, because my throat is killing me from talking. So my personal thoughts and opinions, and keep in mind though, from the beginning, I was really hesitant about Ronda Rousey coming to the WWE. Having someone who wasn't really familiar in this world that is within the WWE, and people were like, "Oh, she's not gonna handle it, or that she's not gonna be able to do it," and then you see her coming in WrestleMania, Kurt Angle's tag team partner, which
doing really well. She trained with Brian Kendrick.
oh yeah, yeah, and not just that though. It was the fact that once the second that Ronda got into the ring, I will kid you not, I literally the moment that I saw her like whoop Steph and Triple H in, I was standing like screaming like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" Like it proved that she can handle being in a ring. And then fast forward to the Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey match. And
That was so random.
that was. But that was random. But at the same time though, as weird as it is, I actually enjoyed the match because it proved that Ronda can be in a ring with another professional wrestler, even though Nia is seen as a monster babyface within the women's division and such, whatever you want to make out of that. But it showed that Ronda can do things. And, you know, it showed that she can do whatever the hell she can. But the whole thing is with her, oh, delicious. I burped. But the thing is with Rousey and Bliss, I feel that it's going to be now. This is a tough one. Like, this is seriously a tough one. This really is because I want to say Ronda because I see that Ronda winning the belt at SummerSlam, and but the problem is I don't want them to do what they do with Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. I want her to be showing that she's a fighting champion for and she's can show up in this and that. But at the same time though, the big issue is with Bliss possibly retaining the belt, and as much as I want to see Ronda, I see Bliss retaining it, like you said, with some assistance by Mickey James or, maybe
even Nia Jax.
Exactly. Like even with Nia, like I seriously see that with Nia, and it can probably happen because, Ronda interfered in the match, even though the match was an Extreme Rules match, which. Okay, they had a few weapons, but it wasn't entirely extreme. And I can probably see it where, Mickey interferes or Nia interferes. Now, see, if they do Nia, I see that as a potential triple threat match. But then again, it's stretching the whole Nia and Bliss feud, and I kind of think we're all sick of that at this point.
Nobody cares about it. I don't think anybody cared about it as soon as it started.
See, people cared in the beginning when Bliss was attacking Nia. It wasn't until after Nia won the belt was when the whole thing dragged down. And I feel like, at this point, because since they had no ideas, I think that's what they're going to try and do. They're going to throw Nia into the mix and just have where, Nia costs Ronda the title, and it'll probably culminate where it's going to be a triple threat match, or probably Ronda versus Nia, number one contenders bout for Bliss's title, or I don't even know, because like it's been said and done, no one knows what WWE creative is doing anymore, and at this point, I'll just smile and wave and just see what happens, see how it comes.
Smile and nod, smile and nod.
Smile and nod, that's right.
WWE, that's the best you can do.
Oh, yeah. My sexy, beautiful peoples, that has been it for our very first video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed it, comments are greatly needed. Starting channel, so take any kind of criticism, whatever. Just also
like, subscribe, share with your friends. Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Foursquare. Is that even a thing?
I mean, we can make it. I mean, we can make it into a thing.
Just, spread it like wildfire.
Spread the good word that a crazy Oddish and a psychotic pale doll is ready to entertain you with all your wrestling needs. Anyway, my sexy, beautiful peoples, this has been BMO Oddish J, and of course, always with my partner in crime,
Tiffany Draven.
and we hope you have a nice day.